All right, peace of Christ to all. Today we are going to answer some questions. One of the things which is really, I find it very annoying that Christians do not know what to answer and do not know what to say, and yet they want to debate people. You know, like it's upsetting me, this video. It's what? It's upsetting me. Okay, what about what you do about it? It's upsetting me. I know, okay, I heard that. It's upsetting you. What about you do something about it? When a Muslim says something and it's upsetting you, so, oh, you send it to me, it's upsetting me, but you can do nothing about it, right? So it's upsetting you, but you have no tongue, you have nothing to say, you send it to me. I understand. So I understand, like I ask myself, like why Christians do not know how to answer Muslims? And always the answer is very easy. Muslims are very trained since a very early age, and this is what they do in their mosque. They don't teach Islam. In Islam, Islamic religion is based in attacking others. Christians in their churches, they never talk about anyone. People go to church, worship God, praise Him, go home. That's it. They don't talk about Muslims. They don't talk about Jehovah's Witnesses. They don't talk about Mormon. They don't talk about anyone. This is why the Christians are far away from education about other religions, especially those who, let us say, Christians in the West, because they are living like leave me alone. Everyone he have his own word, and they think the whole world is going in their circle. Like, we eat McDonald's, everybody eat McDonald's. We dress jeans, everybody dress jeans. We have a freedom of speech, so everybody have a freedom of speech. And then we start talking. And when we talk, we don't have education, so we don't do good. So today we are going to show you a video sent to me in Facebook about a Muslim. He is supposedly debating Christians. I'm not going to play the video on the screen. I'm going to play the audio because this is what we need anyway. And always, we as a Christians, when we speak to Muslims, we need to know that Muslims are not the same as the Hindus or the Buddhas or the Jews. Muslims, they grow since early age based on attacking us, so we should be ready for this attack which is going to come. Otherwise, don't open your mouth. If you are not really educated and able to answer, then you better shut up, because you will look like a fool. The same as the Muslims, they look like a fool when they talk, which mean, like, Muslims usually they look like a fool if they are speaking in front of an educated person, but that can happen to you too. You will look like a fool if you are speaking in front of someone. He know how to ask, you do not know how to answer. And I want to play in the Christians again. You see, I keep saying in every video, what about you guys invite me to your churches to teach? And none of you is calling us, and I say it's for free. People, they like to call people like James White. He charged money for it. It's not for free. I say for free. Nobody like for free. Maybe should I charge money? Maybe should I say I will charge you $2,000 each time you invite me? Why for free is not good? Why Christians do not know, don't want to teach their children how to answer and refute the Muslims? What's wrong? So don't blame the Muslims, blame yourself. The Muslims are doing what everybody should do. Those people, they are defending their religion, and they are trying to convert you. Very, they have the right to do so too. As long as they are not doing violence, it is, why not? So what do you do about it? You sit, watch, and you say this is an upsetting me, or you train yourself and you learn and you educate yourself. We make videos. You see, I make videos, and then we found, if I show you the video that I'm going to play for you, some of it, We cannot play it all because we don't want to violate the copyright. You will see 29,000 viewers, almost 30,000 in a few months. Our videos, we have 500. Like, I have a video for 10,000 viewers after a few weeks. Why? Because I have the name of Jean-Claude Van Damme. This is what is upsetting me about the Christians. Muslims, they work for their devil and they fight badly for their devil. Christians don't even think about it. They don't care. They like you to fight for us. Hey, Christian Prince, can you fight for us? Can you refute this guy? Like, I don't mind if all of you send me, but you do something too. Like, after all, you listen to me. So what the benefit of listening to me then? I mean, seriously, like, if you are listening to me for a year or two and you watched, as you claim, thousands of my videos, and then you do not know how to answer a Muslim, so why you are listening to my videos? What the point? If you cannot refute a little Abdul, so everything I did, it was for nothing then. Either you are learning or you are not. If you are not learning, go watch a movie. Don't watch my videos. Are you watching just to enjoy how we answer Muslims, or so you can learn and you answer too? They don't want to learn. The two videos they sent to me, both are funny, and both, the one is talking there. I wish he will, this guy, he will come to debate me, and then you will see what will happen to him. What about you guys? You challenge those Muslims to debate me. By the way, by the coming July, from the start of the 1st of July, we are going to have, I will have my own show, my weekly show on ABN TV, and that will be my show, not anyone else. All right, and it's going to be broadcast live in North Carolina. Same time, it's a Trinity channel, it. So like some location in the state, they will be able to receive directly by antenna to their homes. They will receive our podcast, which is very good. And I hope that some Muslims will dare to call and debate us. Anyway, so a Christian lady, she come to a Muslim man, or I don't know how conversation started. And look like they have a setup. They put a camera in the side and they are recording in a hiding camera without telling the person that they are recording. I will let you hear a little bit of the conversation and we will answer the Abduls.
Does Jesus say I'm going to die for your sins? No, he doesn't. Okay, not as a deflection, just as a question. No, but let's stay on point. Out of curiosity.
Let us go back.
You know what Jesus said or did. You only told what he said and did. And whether he did or not, we don't know. But we can even scrutinize the words. We can look at the words of Jesus and what he says. And it is in the teachings of Christianity. Does Jesus say I'm going to die for your sins? No, he doesn't. Okay, not as a deflection.
See, he is saying to her, you believe in something you've been told. But did you see Jesus saying that? Let me play it again, just to show you how, like how stupid is what Muslim says, but still the Christians do not know how to answer correctly. They show weakness because they are not really prepared for debates. Christians are not used to debate.
Pure book. So your New Testament, you claim is the word of God. Why do you rely on it? Why do you believe it is the word of God? No, I know you just do. That's emotional. I want an intellectual reason. What's convinced you that this book is the word of God and should be relied upon? Because you're quoting this book as if what he's saying is true, as if Jesus actually said this. So I want to know what's your validation of this book that I should.
Well, what about the Christian right away and ask him, what is the validation of you to believe that Muhammad he said, or his God he said? He is asking you why you are trusting this book to be the book of God. Well, we can trust because first of all, it teaches good. Number two, we have more than 7,000 to 8,000 manuscripts to prove it. Additional to this, Do you have something against it? I mean, like, do you have a book saying this is not the book? You know, in the court of law, one of my degrees is law, as you know. If you want to make an accusation, you have to give a proof. Otherwise, your accusation, if it's written by your hand, is not accepted. So the Muslims have a book is written by their hand. It says our book is not accepted. That is not even accepted in any court. You cannot write a book in your hand and put your signature and give it to the judge and say, see, this guy, he owed me $10,000. He should pay me. Well, where is his signature? There's your signature here. Where is his signature? In order to make this document valid, you have to bring his signature. So the Muslim, when he challenged you to say, what is proof that your book is the book of God? Well, you want to tell me that I wasn't there? Like you was there, you were there in the time of Muhammad? The Muslims now, the Quran they have, they don't even have one manuscript of it. You believe it or not? Not even one. The earlier Quran Muslims they have, as they claim, which is exists supposedly in Istanbul, it is 300 years after Muhammad, and after examination they found it's not even 700 years after his death. And the Quran of Samarkand is not the same as the Quran of Yemen, is not the same. The Quran of Maghrib is not the same as, and the Quran today, even the Muslims, they say this is our Quran. This is not even the book of Muhammad. So do you believe the same question he's asking you? Ask him the same question. We have more than 7,000 manuscripts for the Bible, examined by the most powerful scientists. They say to you, how come you have many translations? Very simple. We have many translations because there's many languages and many translators. I can translate right now the gospel. There's wonderful translation. There's so translation is translation. How come the Quran have many translation too? At the end of the day, translation is translation. They say to you, it's called the new version, a version of the Bible. You have a version every day. We have a new translation. Our Bible is written in the same language, nothing changed. We have it in Aramaic, we have it in Hebrew, and we have it in Greek, and actually even we have it in the Coptic language. What do you have it in? How many languages? So we have many languages to confirm the same book. The original is written in more than one language, not the copies. What about your book? Where is your book? What is confirming your book? So we have many reasons to believe that this is the true book, and we have all the reason to believe in it. But you have no reason to believe in your book. And even if your book never changed, your book is a disaster. Let us continue and see how the conversation will go, and we will see what else this guy will say.
Okay, first thing, I believe the author of the Quran is God. That's the first thing. Okay, I don't believe man is the author of it. I believe there's only one author of Quran, which is God. And once that's validated, whatever it says goes.
He believed that the author of the Quran is God. Prove it. Prove it. I challenge any Muslim to prove it. How you can prove to me that the author of the Quran is God? There is no proof. Actually, we have a proof the opposite.
Well, the Quran gives you a falsification test to disprove it. So the Quran says, if this was book written by any other than Allah, inside you find many contradiction and error. So one of the falsification tests is if man wrote this over 23 years, yeah, putting science and this and that in it, and historical evidence and things like that in it, then he will make mistakes. Because if
all right, this is my change the Muslim. Name for me one chapter does not have error. Just one. Name for me one chapter in the Quran does not have error. And he said, Allah, he said, if this book is not from God, you will find in it many contradiction. Well, all of it is contradiction. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like there is a very famous contradiction we keep repeating always. And I use it always easy because this is the easiest one to prove it. Like, ask the Muslim which one Allah created first, the trees or the sun? Don't say the earth, just make it simple. The trees or the sun? The tree is the grass, the substance of the earth, or the sun, the stars? Which one Allah created first? As long Allah is the one who made the test, and He is the one who said, if this is a book, the Quran says, if this is a book not from God, then we should find a lot of contradiction. I don't know what to count for you and how many contradictions to count for you. However, let us show you a little bit of the contradictions in the Quran. As long as He is the one, He chooses so. I'm going to switch to the screen so you guys can see with me. You know why the Muslims are so aggressive? You are not. You know, be aggressive too. Aggressive not by violence. You know, you see, one of the reasons Muslims do not like to debate me because I'm aggressive. I will eat them alive. So why you don't do it? What's wrong? You want to be a cat or you want to be a lion? What's wrong? A Muslim, he have nothing. He's like a balloon. All what he need is a needle, and the balloon is empty. Islam is the same as a drum. Make a big noise, but there's nothing inside. Big noise. All right. This is the Quran in front of our eyes. Let us see together what we are talking about. Chapter 2, verse number 2, as you see in front of me. And you can read any translation you want. It is He who made the earth. Who is He? It's Allah. Who has made the earth your couch, and the heavens your canopy, and sent down the rain from the heaven, and brought forth the fruits and the substance, etc. Okay, sound great. So who it is the one who did? Allah. What He did? He made the earth. I'm trying to see if Allah is speaking in order or not. Allah, He made the earth, and then He made the heaven. Some Muslim will say it doesn't say that, it's not clear. He is just stating that He made the earth and He made the heaven. Okay, hold on. Let us go back a little bit. Same chapter. I'm not going to move. See? Same chapter. Chapter number 2, verse number 29. Let us read it. It is He who has created for you all things that are on earth. And then He says, moreover, He designated what moreover? It says, and then. If we change the translator, we will see the translation change from moreover to be then. And then He finished the sky. So what He finished first? Everything in earth. Let us change the translator just to show you, you know. In Arabic, it says thumma. Thumma. What thumma mean? What thumma mean? We can go right now and search for thumma meaning in YouTube. The first meaning of thumma. All right. A Muslim, this is Muslims. First meaning, second meaning. This is Muslim video. Allahu Akbar.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله.
Okay, go to the topic.
Indicate distance between two pieces of information without order. So this differs in that it doesn't indicate order. Order is not indicated based on the context and grammatical considerations. And here distance indicates distance in meaning. And we'll explain what this means in the upcoming example, inshallah. So here we have two separate sentences, related sentences, that are joined by the conjunction thumma. And I haven't translated the word thumma deliberately because there is no equivalent of this in the English language. We'll try to find a word that might.
Anyway, we don't want to play it all. So he's given you three meaning of the word thumma, and this one here as an example. This one there's no order. Let us see the second one. How we can decide which one is for order, which one is not. You will see. He will tell you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
This is the first meaning. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
From the Quran and from outside the Quran.
Okay.
To demonstrate the different meanings. And also, we're going to go into some important. Just prior to giving the example, we need to actually highlight the difference in the light of another conjunction, which is the fa. So fa is a conjunction that usually indicates order as well. So they both indicate order. The difference is that thumma indicates an extensive period, while fa indicates a brief period.
Right away. So thumma will make you believe that there is order and there is extensive period. Fa is something you add for a word to make it right away. Something happen right away. It's indicate order without time. Now the Quran says it clearly. هو الذي خلق لكم ما في الأرض جميعا ثم استوى إلى السماء فسواهن سبع سماوات. What does that mean? We go and see more in the translation. Read with me. This is your Muslim translation, not my translation. It is he who created for you that all is in earth. Then he turned. So what was first? What was after? What was first? He created everything in earth. What was after? He created the heaven. At least he finished the heaven, if you want to say the heaven was not exist yet. So the earth, take a note please, the earth was created in full first, everything in earth. He is who created for you all that is in earth, everything, including us, human and birds. And then he fashioned the heaven, that is the stars, the sky. So this was number one, this was number two. All right, that's wonderful. We go to different verse in the Quran. We go to the Arabic Quran and we will see the following. Sorry. Chapter 79, verse number 30. You can read any translation you want, your choice. All of them, they are false anyway. However, you can read it from few verses before. I advise you, so we can see the whole meaning. All right, and you will see that he is the one who raised high its height, starting from verse number 27. Let me make it big. Are you harder to create or heaven? He made it. He raised it high, its height. Then he put the right good state into a good state, and he made the dark and the night, and he brought the light, and the earth he expanded after that, and he brought the substance after that, and he made the mountains after that, and he provided the cattle after that. But hold on, the other verse saying the opposite. The other verse saying that Allah created everything in earth, and then he went to heaven and he fashioned it. Here Allah, he finished the heaven, he fashioned the heaven, he created the lights, and everything is done, as you see. Section number 1, Allah, from verse number 27. He made the heaven, he raised it high, he made dark and it's night, which is false, by the way, because you don't make dark. And the earth, he expanded after that. So the earth wasn't expanded, he expanded. And he brought the water and the substance and the mountains and the cattle. And after that, what happened? The earth is everything is completed. So heaven first, earth next. The other verse, the other chapter number 2, saying the opposite. Allah created the earth and everything in the earth first, then read with me. Then, you see it? Then let me make it big. Then he turned to heaven, and then he made and then he fashioned the heaven, and then he made the lights and everything, and then he made them 7 heavens. And remember, the lights, the lamps, is in the lowest heaven. So what do you mean when you say to me that Allah, he made he gave us a test, how we can test the Quran if it's from God or not? Here we go. In 2 seconds it failed. In 2 seconds it failed. The Quran did not pass even 5 seconds of examination. Have you ever heard of God? He will not remember which one he created first, earth or heaven? Have you ever heard of God? He do not remember which one he created first, tree or water or a star? What kind of God is God that? You know, obviously he forgot. Muhammad, he forgot. So when a Muslim, he speak about contradiction in the Quran, if this book is not from God, you will find in it a lot of contradiction. At least find me one contradiction. What are you talking about, Abdul? The Quran is the book of contradiction. It's endless. Now I hope people, they are listening, the Christians, they are taking notes. So if you ever speak to a Muslim, you know how to answer. Is that fair? I don't want you to be standing in front of them, you do not know what to say. He will say to you exactly what you heard. Muslims are copy paste from each other. Muslims are copy paste. What about how many days? How many days Allah he created the earth and the heaven? This is additional one. We go back. Here we go. Read with me here. Chapter 41, verse number 12. Actually, this is the same chapter, have a contradiction for the first one about which one Allah created first, but have additional contradiction. Let's see why. You can choose any translation you want, which one you want. If there's any Muslim in the listening to me, please give me the translation you like. Which one you like most? Yusuf Ali, Shakir, Biktal, Muhsin. Which potato you like? For you like Muhsin Khan? Here we go, Muhsin Khan. Read what Muhsin Khan he says. I'm going to make it big so everybody can see. He placed therein an earth, firm mountains from above it. This is a mistake. The Quran is telling us that the mountains are not from the earth. It is something he placed in the top of the earth. This is false. All of us, we know that the mountains happen because of the tectonic plates. When there's a pressure between two tectonic plates, the mountains will be created, or from a volcano. Either way, it is from down up, not from up down. According to the Quran, Allah placed the mountains so the earth will not move. Allah is saying to us that he put mountains is like you are putting the rocks in the top of a sheet so don't fly. This is a very stupid thing to say. So Allah, he placed the mountains firm from above. Thank you very much. Is that what God will say? This is very stupid. We continue. And he placed it, and he measured therein the substance, and which means of everything in earth, in 4 days. So what Allah he did? By the way, you can read from the verse before it here. Say, O Muhammad, do you verily disbelieve in him who created the earth in 2 days? So number one here, let us see. Hold on, let me activate the pen. I bought a program to write with it in the screen, but look like it's freezing my screen. My memory is not handling it. But I will use this one here now. 2 days to create what? It's not working. Hold on. For some reason it's not working. Okay, let's hope now. No, it's not working. I'm not sure why. I'm trying to draw. No. All right, well, look like we have no choice. Let me try something else. I hope my screen will not freeze. All right, 2 days. Even this one is not working too. What's wrong here? I know. Sound fishy, huh? Hold on. Let us try this. Unbelievable, it's not working. I'm not sure why. Okay, well, let us. Anyway, you can see it with me, right? It says 2 days. I think it's clear, right? So Allah, he created the earth in 2 days, right? Take notes, please. Again, this is chapter 41, verse number 9 and 10 and 11 and 12. All right? 2 days to create the earth, then 4 days to create everything in the top of the earth. What the Muslim, they will say to you to explain this mistake, they will say to you, oh no, here 4 days, it says both of them, they became 4 days, like creating the earth in 2 days, and Allah, he created the earth and everything in the top of the earth in 4 days. This doesn't say that. It says it clearly. It is him who created the earth in 4 days. If you are going to separate between creating the earth and creating the substance of the earth, that will make them 2 days plus 4 days. If you want to say that the 4 days is for all of it, this means the one who wrote the Quran is stupid. Because why you are counting 4 days for, and you are saying I created the substance and the measure of the earth and the mountains in 4 days. He is not saying I'm created the earth in 4 days. He is saying it clearly. He placed therein in the earth between two brackets, which means not there. He placed mountains above it. This is the first thing he did after creating the earth. So here he created the earth in 2 days. This is over. Then he placed mountains in the top of it, and he made the measured of the substance. All of this in 4 days. Read it. Here he put for you between two brackets, just this is false fiction, does not exist in the Quran, i.e. all these 4 days were equal in the length of the creation time. Creation time of what? For this, the Quran is very clear. 2 days for the earth, 4 days for her. Why the Muslims are trying to defend this? Because this is a big problem. Because 2 plus 2, and then he says 2 days to create the heaven. Then he rose over to the heaven, and it was a smoke. What? He went to the heaven and it was a smoke. Well, all right. So what we should do now? Now seriously, what we should do? Because according to this verse, according to this chapter now, the earth was finished first, and all the mountains is finished, and all the substance and everything, and then he went to the heaven. Remember that. But this is not what this verse here is saying. This verse here is saying that the earth was created after the heaven, and the earth was finished after the heaven. So now we have what? We have two contradictions between two verses, and we have another contradiction between two other verses. This is a chapter 79, and you can read from verse number 27 all the way to verse number 33. According to this section, earth was created after heaven. Heaven was finished in total. Allah created light. Allah he raised it above. Allah have fashioned it, fashioned everything. And then after that, and he made the dark and the night. What mean dark and night? Mean he created the sun, the stars, because there's no night and there's no dark. Actually, there is night. By the way, this is just a mistake here. Made dark. What made dark? You do not mean dark to make dark. Dark is the absence of the light. So Allah he made dark because the one who writing the book is ignorant. He think dark is need to be made it, and he made the night, and then he brought out the light. So here we go, everything perfect. The stars is there. We have day, we have night. The heaven is completed. Then he go down and he continue building the earth, or he finished the earth. He put the mountains. Look with me here. The sun, the sky is done first. Let me do this here. Maybe now it's going to work. All right, look with me, guys. According to this, the light is vanished before the mountains. Do you see it? Just to make it simple, this was number 1, and this was number 2. As simple as that. All right, let us go to the other chapter. This is again chapter, take notes, chapter 79. And we are reading from verse number 29 and verse number 32. So we go now to other verse in the Quran. Now we are in chapter 41. Take a note, chapter 41. According to chapter 41, Allah he created the mountains. This is the mountain. Let us make a note here. The earth here is created in the verse before it in 2 days, as you see here. Then Allah he created the mountains. After he created the mountains, where he created the sky, and then he made the light. Do you see it? He went toward to heaven. The heaven was a smoke, which means there was nothing. The heaven was a smoke, nothing there. So this is a very clear contradiction. You do not need to be genius to see it. Is mountain first and the sun after, or the sun before the mountain? Why people are so like so blind they cannot see? And the funny, the Muslim, they keep repeating that. They keep saying, if the Quran is not from God, you will find contradiction. Well, all of it is a contradiction. And this is why I'm saying, show me one chapter in the Quran does not have contradiction. Just one. Challenge. You name it, you choose it. This is the book of errors. And if I want to show you, actually, even the same chapter, by the way, we are reading from, have a big problem. Why? Because if you read with me here about those days, when Allah, He made the earth and the heaven, He made the earth in 2 days, as we see here. And then whatever in the top of the earth is 4 days. And then 2 days to make the sky. The total is 8 days. The total is what? Is 8 days. 2 days, read with me. Let me highlight it for those who they are not good in mathematics. 2 days here for making the earth, then 4 days to create the substance of the earth. You see it? 4 days. And then He made the heaven in 2 days. Well, how this happened? Because that will make the total 8 days. Which one is the correct? You see it here, it says 2 days. He finished the heaven in 2 days. So the mountains contradict the creation, the earth contradict the creation. Which one is first? The sky, the sun, the light, the darkness, the heaven finished first, the earth finished first. It's a contradiction, it's a mess. Now, this is the contradiction for different verse in the Quran where it says Allah created the earth and the heaven in 6 days. But the total now is 8 days. Not only this, he said that if Muhammad is a liar, or he's saying like, we will find contradiction in his words too. Well, let us see that. We can go right now to the books of Sunnah, the Hadith of the Prophet, the false prophet. If the Quran says one chapter saying the Quran, Allah created the days, the earth and the heaven in 6 days, one chapter as we showed you saying 8 days. What about to Muhammad? What he said? How many days it took for Allah to finish creation? Read with me. Let me get you the hadith. Allah the glorious, who is talking here? Muhammad. Take a note, please. The one is talking is Muhammad, not me. Allah created the mountains, sorry, He created the clay in Saturday. Let us highlight. And you use your you take your notes. All right. So He created the clay on Saturday. All right. This is the first day. And then He created the mountains in Sunday. So what is the first thing Allah created? Take note, please. Clay. Second is the mountains. But hold on. If we go back to the Quran says in the verse we showed you that Allah, He created the heaven first. And He made the light first. And then He went down. You see, the mountains is created later. Allah created the day and the night, the darkness. He created the heaven. He raised it above, as you see in the front of you. All of this is done, and then after that he made the water, and after that he made the mountains. So according to the Quran order, the mountains is done long after what Muhammad is saying. Muhammad saying it was the second thing to create. The second thing to create in this verse was he created the heaven, he raised it above, and then what is the second? He made darkness. So number 2 is darkness, number 3 is light, and then he came down to the earth and he expanded. So this is the action number 4, and then he made the substance. This is the action number 5, and then he made the mountains, and this is the action number 6. But according to Muhammad Hadith, mountains was number 2. So who is lying here? Now we go back and we count days, just to show you the contradiction, how crazy it is. The contradiction is all over. Muhammad, the second he opened his mouth, he make contradiction, he make mistakes. So we have Saturday, Allah created the clay. This is number 1. We have Sunday, Allah created the mountains. This is number 2. Here, I will wait. Number 2 here. Then he created the trees in Monday. Okay, this is number 3. My writing is funny with the mouse, sorry. And then he created things entitling labor in Tuesday. This is number 4. And then he created the light in Wednesday. What? By the way, the Muslim, they make fun of you. They say to you, oh, your God says that he created the light in Wednesday. It's in your hadith, you seriously. I saw the dad is making fun of the Christians, saying your God, he created the sun in the 4th day. According to him, he's complaining. But obviously this he claimed to be a scholar, but he's a potato, because this is what his prophet saying. So this is number 5, the day number 5. Count with me. And then he created the animals in Thursday. This is day number 6. And then he created Adam in a Friday afternoon. Well, this is number 7. But the Quran says to us that Allah created everything in 6 days, and then he went to his throne. But this is contradict this story here. According to this story is 7, and this is contradict the other story too, where it says that Allah, he created everything in 8 days. So is it 8 days? It is 7 days. It is 7 days. Which days? Here it's 7. Different verse in the Quran it says 8. Different verses in the Quran say 6. So we have 6, we have 7, we have 8. Which one of them is correct? Add to this, according to Muhammad here, mountains are created first as number 2. According to the verses we showed you, mountains are created as number 6, as an order. Which one? Should I show you all the mistakes and the error of the Quran? It's endless. So if the Christians is arguing with this Muslim, saying to, speaking to a Muslim, if you know this, he will refute him very easy. But he do not know. So don't involve in a debate with someone you do not know what he believes, because he will be attacking you. You do not know what to say to him. Very simple. I can show you really tons of contradiction. As an example, what about a very simple contradiction? Look at this. Chapter 14, verse number 4. Chapter 14, verse number 4. We never send a messenger, but he speak in the tongue of his people. What? Allah confirming that He will never send. He will never send a messenger unless He speak the tongue of the people, and those people, they have to be His own people. So how Muhammad will become a universal messenger? In order to do that, Muhammad, he have to be from all nations, born from all nations, and speak all languages in order to understand. Look, I'm not the one saying that. The Quran says that in order to make things clear to them. So Allah saying to us in the Quran, if this is God, He is saying, I'm not going to send you any messenger. He don't speak your language, and he will not teach you in different language. He will teach you only in your language. Why? To make things clear for them. Makes sense. I like that. So Allah will not send an Arab prophet for someone he is a Coptic, or someone he is a German, or someone he is a Chinese or Indian. Allah will send to the Hindus, the Indian who speak in India there's 400 languages. So Allah need to send 400 Muslim prophet to the Indian alone. I'm not the one saying that. The Quran in front of you. We will never send. We sent not a messenger except. You see, Allah is putting condition. So if you want to do debate, we need to educate ourselves. Otherwise, we cannot make it. You know, like the Quran is very, you know, Islam is very easy to destroy. All right. Now I will move to different topic. We prove now the Quran is a shish kebab, falafel, hummus. Actually, if people here, if there's any Muslim in the listening, if you want me to give you more contradiction, I can give you tons of them. Tons. You know what tons? Very weird. I don't know really. I wish there is a Muslim, he will dare to say, if you are listening, please, you can text me. I can give you my Skype to call me right now. Right now. Actually, my Skype is in the screen. Oh, just tell me so I will activate it. I will go again. Any Muslim want to debate me live? Anyone there? Anyone home? What, you know, this is the one of the most funny, stupid religion ever. And yet they want to tell us, well, Allah, He said, brother, if this book is not from God, you will find a lot of contradiction. Like, come on, are you blind? You know, when the Muslims speak about their Quran and they glorify this book, sometimes I ask myself, they're glorifying because they know or because they don't know. And obviously they glorify something they do not know. They don't. One of you, he asked me to speak about the Quran mistakes in Arabic. I prefer to talk about this topic in the Arabic class, because then I will be able to talk to people who they are learning Arabic. Because if I show you right now mistakes in Arabic in the screen and you don't know Arabic, I mean, you will not be able really to know. You know what I mean? Like, imagine I'm going to show you a mistake in English, but none of us speak English except me, supposedly. This is why I don't really talk about it, because in order to have this topic, I have to have audience who they are people who speak Arabic. Now we go to different topic. a Muslim was speaking to a Christian, and look what the Muslim says to the Christian.
Are you following Jesus? No, you are. I believe in. Well, show me then. Show me then. Show me the gospel of Jesus. Show me.
What do you really believe?
Can you show me?
That's why you don't understand.
Can you show
What
me?
do you believe?
Show me.
Why does the
No need to shout. No need to shout about the Quran. You can't hide under the skirt of the Quran, my friend. You can't hide up the skirt of the Quran. Answer the question. Where is the gospel of Jesus?
Where is the gospel of Jesus? A Muslim shouting, saying, where is the gospel of Jesus? I want to ask you, you Muslim believe that Allah, He sent the gospel to Jesus. We have our gospel. You don't believe it? This is your problem. Now where is the gospel which Allah, He sent to Isa? You see how stupid this question is? You are asking the Christian, where is the gospel of Jesus? Where we have it? And we have 4 books confirming the same gospel, and we have more than 7,000 to 8,000 manuscripts. Now, where is the gospel of Isa? What happened to it? Right away, the Muslim, he will say to you, it is gone. Well, thank you very much. That's mean you're God. Allah cannot be God, because this is His book. This is not the book of Isa. You see, when God, He gave a book to a prophet, if Isa is a prophet, still this is the book of God, not the book of Isa. If Allah gave Muhammad Quran, this is not the Quran of Muhammad, this is the Quran of Allah. If Allah gave Quran to Isa, well, this is the Quran of Isa. So where is the Quran of Isa? I need to ask you. The Muslim will say to you right away, oh, it's corrupt. Corrupt by who? How Allah is allowed in His book to be corrupt? How you can trust God who cannot protect His book? What do you mean corrupt? Hacked? Destroyed? Burned? Somebody used it to make cooking in the top of it, and Allah could not stop them? So why He sent the book anyway? Why Allah He sent the book? Why God will send a book He cannot protect? Do Allah know the future? Do Allah know that this book will not be successful? So why He printed, and why He sent it, and why He sent the Isa anyway? Because according to the Quran, Isa was a failure, because simply his book is gone. Right? If God sent me in a mission and I could not accomplish it, my book is gone, nobody believed in my mission, and I ran away. So everything Allah He did was a failure. What the point? You know what I mean? And you know, when a Muslim he speak about when they say to you that your book is corrupt, I made a video about it before, if you remember, and I said it clearly how you answer. You said to him, you said to him right away, are you talking? Do you mean that the book of Allah is corrupt? Do you mean that the book of Allah is gone? Right away you will see his face will change, his words will change, because he will notice in a second how stupid what he is saying. He is accusing himself, accusing his God that he could not protect his book. As simple as that. There's a verse in the Quran actually where Allah He says that Allah He entrusted the Jews in the protection of the book. If you go to chapter 5 verse number 44, chapter 5 verse number 44, you will see Allah saying, well, you know what, I entrusted the Jews and the rabbi to protect their book, but they were not good to trust. Well, why? What do you mean? What do you mean you trust them? Why Allah is entrusting the Jews to protect his book? Let me show you the verses in case you guys do not know. All right. Let us go here. Yusuf Ali. Oh, this is wrong. Hold on, hold on. All right, here. Well, that will do. We can go there for 44. All right. As you see here, Allah saying, for them was entrusted, them who? The Rabbi. The Rabbi. For them was entrusted the protection of the book of Allah. So Allah was stupid. He trusted the Jews to protect his book, and he was wrong. You know, when you say I trusted someone, it's mean I thought in that moment he is good to be trusted. This is what trust mean. Trust mean you believe in someone that he is good. Correct? So Allah entrusted the protection of his book on the Jews. What the Jews did? They were not good. So Allah was not God. For Allah, if he is God, he should not entrust the wrong one. Imagine like you trust a bank and you put your money there or your jewelries, and then you come back after 2 months, they say to you, sorry, your money is gone. I trusted you, I thought you are good. This is what it's mean. You will not give them what you have unless you have a trust that those people you can trust and you can take your money back. This is why people put their money in the bank, because there is a trust, and the government actually ensure that trust, that if they don't pay you, they will go after them. Actually, the government, they make a fund, they force the bank to put a fund at least to cover the first $250,000 of any account. This is the maximum. So government can do it, bank can do it, Allah cannot do it. Allah, he entrusted the wrong one, the Jews. With what? With the most priceless thing, which is his word. Obviously your God is a foolish God. He is entrusting the wrong one. Why he don't protect it himself? He was lazy, he was asleep, he was fired, he lost his job, his wife, she kicked him out, his mother-in-law, she was beating him, so he was not really focusing. Right? Now there is other issue, and this is the last one I will talk about. A Christian, he will go to the Muslim and he will say to him, well, your prophet, he was a murderer. Like now I see somebody saying, is Muhammad is a murderer, and does Allah forget the Bible? Let us talk about murderer. The Muslim right away, they will say to you, well, are you saying that my prophet is violence? What about your Old Testament? And right away the Christian, he will start saying, oh, you know, Jesus, he came to fulfill. I'm talking about Jesus. Okay, why you don't want to talk about the Old Testament? Why Christians, many of them, they don't want to talk about the Old Testament? How come you want to mention the violence in the Quran, but you don't want to mention the violence in the Bible? Why you run away from it? What's wrong? I will tell you why. Because simply they aren't educated. They do not know. They have no idea what to say. They are just there to make accusation. The same as the Muslim too. You know, the Muslim, they have no education in your book, most of them. And there's many Christians, they have no education in their book too. So a Muslim will say to you, why your God in the Old Testament, he speak about killing? Why? Right away the Christian, he will say to you, well, Jesus, he came to and says love your enemy. Well, isn't it the same God? Isn't it the God of the Old Testament is the same God in the New Testament? Actually, this is my problem with the Christians. Actually, you will see a Christian, he refused that Jesus said go and buy a sword. Why people are afraid to say that Jesus said go and buy a sword? You know, anyone he believe that God, our God, he did not speak of violence, he is a false Christian, and he do not know his book, and he is officially stupid. Because if you read your book, you will see that your God, he supported the Jews in many war. Now there's a huge difference between God is doing evil and God is doing good. Somebody will say to you, what is good in war? Well, there is no good in war. There is no good in war. But who said that you know, God is interested in killing people? God have no pleasure in killing people. If you go to Romans chapter 13 verse number 4, it says, for he is the minister of God to thee for good, but if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he breathed not the sword in vain, for he is the minister of God. You can read the rest. There is a use of sword. The Bible says clearly the one who kills should be killed. The wicked ones, the criminals, they should be killed. So why you run away and saying, you know, the Bible is against killing? This is not true. This is absolutely false. Even God, he waged war against nation. Even our God in the Old Testament, he burned a city. The difference between the gospel and the Old Testament is nothing except that God gave orders based on the needs, and the needs of man, not his need. When there was a need, the law will come. As an example, when Adam and Eve, they have no children except a few of them, the son, he married his sister. So there is no law to say don't marry your sister. But later we will see John the Baptist, he paid his life to oppose a man marrying from his relative. This is how serious it was. So why it was okay in the time of Adam and Eve? Because simply there was a need. There was a need that there's no men and there's no women except those. So if we say to the brother, don't marry your sister, well, then what will happen? So God gave Adam and Eve the ability to produce, and then through their kids we are. So somebody will say to you, there's incest here. Yeah, there's incest. There's a brother marrying his sister for a very simple reason. There was a need. So when there is a need for violence, violence will happen. When there is a need for killing, killing will happen. When there is a need for mercy, mercy will happen. As simple as that. God he give, God he took. You know, actually every day our God, he killed many of us. We call it death. We call it death. If God wants us to stay alive forever, we will live. But people, they call it natural death. The fact your natural death is caused by God. Why? Because He is the one who make it happen. How He make it happen? He make you get old, get older, get sick, get weak, and you die. It's a slow death. Right now I am in the process of death, same as you. Every day goes, this day will never come back. This is a design of God. So you call it death, you call it killing, it doesn't matter. It's the same. God, He gave you life. God, He take it from you. So if God destroy a nation, He take what He gave them. He gave them life. He take back what He own. You don't own your life. You don't have it. So don't be ashamed to talk about your gospel or your Jesus. When He come in the second time, He will not come as a merciful person. He will not. He will come as a king, and He will say, bring them in front of me and slay them. Why Christians, they try to imagine Jesus as a baby in the cradle? Wake up, this is your God. First coming was very merciful. Second coming will be different. Second coming, many they will kneel in front of Him, and He will say, Lord, Lord. He will say, depart from me, I do not know you. Second coming, He will send people to hellfire. Hellfire. You see, there's no mercy. You know what hellfire mean? Imagine putting a human being in the oil and fry him alive. Obviously, people do not know what God means. They think they know that because Christianity. All of us, we know that when we go to the church, people, they try to spread love. Okay, that's great, but you need to teach the people too that who is God for real. God is love. That's wonderful, but God, this God, we call Him God is love. In the judgment day, He will not show you love no more. He will not show you mercy no more. That's it. So when a Muslim, he speak to you about killing in the Old Testament, say, what? Why not? Like as an example, they speak to you, they says, God, He ordered Moses to kill, to go for war, to take the land of the Palestinians. Well, this is in your Quran. This is in your Quran. At least shut him up from his Quran. Isn't it his Quran says that Allah, He ordered Moses to go and take the Holy Land? As we see here. Chapter 5, verse number 21. You can read the whole thing. Allah told Moses to tell his people, go and enter the Holy Land which Allah prescribed for you. They told him, but they have people there, they are people of might. We cannot fight them. They reject to go. So Allah get upset from them, and He made them lose their way for 40 years in the desert. Why? Because they refused to kill the Palestinian. Where we can find that in the Quran. Which chapter? Chapter 55, verse number 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. As you see it. For they refused to kill the Palestinian, Allah made them lose their way for 40 years in the desert. This is in the Quran. So when a Muslim, he says to you, why God, He ordered Moses to attack and go in war? Well, if this is the question for me, well, this is the same question for you. It's in the Quran. But because most of the Christians, as I said, they are not educated, they do not know what to answer. And what is making me really upset, that they don't learn. It doesn't matter how many times we repeat for them, they don't learn, because simply they are not learning, they are watching. Most of the Christians, they consider what we do is the same as a TV show. It's funny. They laugh and they leave, but nothing to remember. So later, You know, they will send me a message on Facebook where we can find that verse. Well, I told you this verse 1,000,000 times. Why you are asking me? I heard you before in one of the videos saying where we can find this hadith. Well, as long you heard me, how come you did not take it, register it, if you are interested? Now you want to answer a Muslim you do not know how to answer. Now you are asking me? If you want to do that, if you are lazy, go and buy my books. At least you will find reference there ready for you. Do we have any question from anyone? And by the way, the Muslims, when they speak about their Quran and they say to you, who is the one who wrote the Quran? You say to them, we have the Gospel of Luke, the Gospel of Mark, the Gospel, etc. So they say to you, but where is the Gospel of Jesus? Okay, where is the where is the Quran of Muhammad? The book we have right now is the Quran of Uthman. Actually, it's not even called Quran, it's called Mushaf Uthman. Mushaf Uthman, which means the pages of Uthman. It's not even a book. The word Mushaf coming from the word Sahifa. Sahifa is paper. So those are the papers of Uthman. Where is the papers of Muhammad? I will tell you where is the papers of Muhammad. The goat ate it. This is the hadith in front of us says that a goat ate the Quran and ate it. Went inside the house of Muhammad. Let me see where is. Here we go. This is where the Quran of Muhammad, eaten by a goat. Do you see it? The verses of stoning and breastfeeding an adult 10 times was revealed. And the paper, actually it's not a paper, it's Sahifa. Sahifa mostly it's something made from leather. At that time the Muslims, there's no papers. With me under my pillow. When the messenger of Allah died, we were preoccupied with his death. Then a sheep came and ate it. What? Ate only the sheep find only one verse there. So Muhammad in his house he have only, and why it's under the pillow? What do you mean under the pillow? There's only one paper under the pillow. Where is the rest of the Quran? Obviously Muhammad from the whole Quran he don't have anything except this paper. This is why under the pillow. And that's mean for sure it's not a paper. It must be written in leather. Because you cannot put the paper under the pillow, will destroy it. You know? So where was Allah when the goat ate the Quran? Right now because of this we don't have a breastfeeding verses of 10 times for adult. Imagine this is God teaching men and women that a man he can suckle a woman 10 times. And then Allah he make it 5 verses. Look at this. These verses were abrogated in recitation by not ruling. Other hadith established the number of 5. Okay, where is the number of 5? Show me the verse. We cannot see it. They say abrogated by recitation. So nobody write those verses. No, it's not. But they say the Quran is preserved. Where we can find the 5 breastfeeding for adult rule in the Quran? It's not there. Where we can find the 10, it's not there. Where we can find the stoning to death is not there. So this hadith alone report for us that at least there's 2 chapters on the Quran are gone. The one is speaking about breastfeeding for adult, and the one is speaking about stoning to death. And here you see it says Hassan. Muslim cannot say it's weak as usual. And this is where Sunan Ibn Majah. Who is the one who collect the Quran? Uthman ibn Affan. Do we Muslims today have the book of Uthman ibn Affan, the one he collect? Nobody have it. What the Muslims have today? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Actually, the Quran is the most published Quran today is the one published by Saudi Arabia. Why it became the most famous one? Because the Saudi have money. They are publishing and spending money for free. Send it everywhere. But this is not the only Quran that exists. The one is found in Sana'a in Yemen is different from the Quran the Muslims today are reading. But however, all of them, they are not old enough. They are a couple of hundred of years after Muhammad. Actually, even the Hadith, by the way, even the Hadith is not legitimate. Not because it's true or not, but Muhammad said it clearly that nobody should collect Hadith. And this is what makes Islam funny, because if nobody should collect Hadith, and Quran have a lot of missing stories, and many things is let us say, as you see in front of you, like abrogated by recitation. So how we will know what is abrogated, what is not, if we don't write it down? Muhammad, he said, "Man kataba ghayra al-Quran falyamhihi," which means anyone who write anything except the Quran, he should delete it. Let me find you the hadith. Hold on. Here we go. Read it. According to Muhammad, and the funny about Muslims, they are this is in Sahih Muslim. They are reporting for us that the Prophet said, "Should not write my words, only the Quran." But they are collecting it and put it in the Hadith. You believe it? They are saying to us, the Prophet said, "Don't collect my words, collect only the Quran. Anything I say, don't write it down." So they write it down what Muhammad said about not to write down. It's like somebody saying, "Do you want to bet that gambling, oh, like let us say, you want to bet that bet is haram? You want to bet that bet is haram? You cannot bet on anything." This is exactly what they are doing. So Muhammad, he said, don't not take down. It says, "Don't write down anything from me. And who took down anything from me except the Quran, he should erase it." Should erase it. The translation is not accurate, you know. It says in Arabic, "لا تكتبوا عني ومن كتب عني غير القرآن فليمحه وحدثوا عني ولا حرج." Speak about me, but don't write anything I say. Don't write. This is the order of Muhammad. Why Muhammad don't want them to write anything from what he say? Because there's a lot of disasters. Muhammad is afraid that people, if he write it down, they can find the contradiction. So Muhammad, he don't want anything to be written down, and he think the Quran is good. So don't write anything except the Quran. So a Muslim, he should not come to us with anything except the Quran. Well, the Quran is a very stupid book, as we showed you. Can't be trusted, can't be followed, full of mistakes, scientific mistakes, geographic mistake, history mistakes, you name it. Do we have any Muslim? All right, I think we are we cover most of the point for now. If any one of you have a question for me, I'm not against you to send me requests to ask me questions, no, but will make me upset if you do nothing. Like I go, somebody send me a video, says a Muslim saying that. I look at the video to see the comment of this person who's asking me to respond. I don't find it. Why you people don't respond? Why only me I need to respond? This is what making me really unhappy. Can't you respond? You should. All this teaching, all this education is not enough. With this, I want to say thank you for watching and listening, and don't forget to join our Arabic learning page, which is called Arab for Christ. Arab for Christ, you can search it. I post already videos about it in my channel. This is a free Arabic teaching for everybody who want to learn. With this, I want to say thank you. God bless. Christ is Lord. Islam is false. I mean to that.